Hey guys, this is Dark Plays Rising Angel Reborn. I don't know anything about this game, and I'll put in the description down below who the developer and people are, so you can check it out if you'd like. But just to get out of this video, we're gonna go ahead and start. Alright, so we're playing a lady who has been on a research facility for a long time, but has wanted to be in, I guess, a fighter pilot situation. I wanted to take command of a fighter pilot, but has never been given an opportunity until recently, which is where our story begins. You never feel as much pride as the first time you were given command. An instructor at the academy once told me that. There's something to be said about that. My first command was a listening outpost on some backwater swamp planet that didn't have an official name. Yeah. So this is the listening outpost that she's been at for a long time. I called it my watery hell. My command consisted of myself, 2 automated recording machines, and a virtual intelligence to manage the machines. I was alone during my stint as a lieutenant and a brevet captain. The only thing that kept me sane were the games for my virtual system. I'm pretty sure I managed to beat every single role-playing game known to the galaxy. Sure, there haven't been very many made since the war for our survival started so many years ago, but still. When I signed up to fight, I thought the Catageon Defense Force would have been smart enough to send me to the front. Nope, I go to the watery hell with constant mole problems. They sent my classmates, who were far less capable than I, to the front. Those losers got to command task force and fight. And like I predicted, most of them perished with their commands. They were blind fools, idiots. If I would have been there, this war could have been over by now. Instead, innocent people, brave warriors, and powerful war machines had to be sacrificed to some dumb tactical officer, some bad battle plan. Not anymore. I've been watching the Loadmaster and her droids moving cargo for a few minutes. I might have to inquire if she knows anything about my welcoming party. As I walk up to her, I catch notice of her short stature and non-regulation issue high. Great. She's a Hoban. During my academy and training years, I never saw too many of them. While nimble and dexterous, they aren't what you would call our A-class students. Most of them are as dense as rocks. Even now, she's smiling and waving at me with unprofessional excitement. No bearing, no discipline. Excuse me, but could I ask you a quick question? Certainly. How can I help you? I glance over her uniform and notice the small insignia. It tells me she's a lowly flight officer. If this is the sort of professional treatment my forces give, I'm going to have a difficult time. Still, she is a member of the crew. It's someone I am going to have to work with on a day-to-day basis. I can tolerate a little bit of it. I am Major Natalie Pusil, looking for the bridge. You're almost there. Thank you for assistance, flight officer. I'm glad to help out. If you get lost, I'll be finished loading soon and can show you around. That's kind, but I should be fine. Don't worry, Kylie. We're here to show her around. Waiting at the end of the hall are a pair of majors approaching me, my real welcoming party, I guess. One of them is handsome, pale-fared Fricon with large, creamy wings and a soft, cheery look on his face. The other man, you've gotten soft over the years, Miss Natalie. Maybe I have, but at least I haven't gotten lax with my support. Letting a kid load all of supplies by herself, I expect better leadership from you. I always thought you were asleep during the delegation class at the academy. You're one to talk. I know you slept through the first aid course. I take it you two know each other? We graduated from the same academy class. Old friends. Is Major Hackett smiling? I know. This may be the sign of Armageddon. Apparently he does not smile very often. I'm just glad that something could warm my wingman's heart. My name is Alphonse. Oh, Alphonse! Well, Metal Alchemist reference. Tenzin, you already know Soul. Major Natalie Pusil. My last name. Reporting. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Flight Officer Kylie Miggy. I'm not actually a kid, I'm a hobbit. It's nice to meet you, Flight Officer Miggy. Though you could stand to listen to Soul a bit about professionalism, he is right about some things. I'm sorry, man. It has been hard adjusting to military life. Keep at it. Be the best officer you can be. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am! I can see why you like her, Soul. Hush, Major Tenzin. We need to get going and let Natalie settle in before Rasuna gets her claws out. You mean Commander Rasuna. I'm going to go back to loading the supplies, sir. Please. Do you see what I have to go through? That's why I'm glad to see you, Natalie. So I can correct you as well? Here, let me take your luggage. Are you sure? Let's drop these bags off and take a tour of the ship. It's small, but our work is cut out for us. I'd let him. Soul let Zuri carry all of her luggage without even offering a single shred of help. Zuri can roundhouse kick me through a wall. She didn't need the help. Or Kylie. You packed lightly, as always. Uniforms and basic healthcare items. I packed just like the deployment list recommended. Most people don't listen to that. They seem to think we have plenty of space on the ship for things like dumbbells and personal effects. I was told that the list was the official record. You were told right. The force is growing so slack. Take Kylie, for instance. I don't think we could have had a better quartermaster. She's a wizard with our equipment. Nothing ever stays broken. If you need something, it is stocked on the next supply run. But you saw how she treats superior officers. She seems to think regulations and professional behavior don't matter if you just do it well. We have those regulations for a reason. We deal with life and death situations. You have to be able to know exactly what the person next to you is going to do. Exactly. You wouldn't believe how grateful I am to have someone here who understands that. I thought it was R.A. Rizuna. Am I crazy? Let's see. Just doesn't understand that being good and being a team just doesn't cut it. Well, I'm here now. We'll start bringing the ship up to code. Dang right! So you really didn't help poor Kylie with her bags? It was okay. I managed. Well, you can help make it up to you by helping finish loading up equipment. I think that's the first thing we can bring up to code. Only for you, Natalie. I'll help. Kylie never asks for help when she needs it. Let's show her the power of a trio of majors. Starting to believe that the gods may have blessed us with your presence here. If I can still move after this, I'll consider agreeing. Thanks, Soul. Only helping because Kylie is our quartermaster. I wouldn't waste my time if some of those boxes didn't contain steaks from back home on I'm gonna call that Kyun. But then we are going back to the tour. No further delays, please. Deal. Oh, we skipped that whole thing where we were helping Kylie. You don't need to see that. Welcome to the bridge. It isn't much, but it beats being stuck in that tiny Corlett cockpit. You flew fighters? 2 years on the front line with it. KSS Leon. Sounds exciting. Not when you get caught up in a major conspiracy. Please tell me you aren't planning to overthrow the board of directors while you're working here. My career can't handle another one. Whoa, what? On second thought, don't ask. It brings up too many bad memories. Whoa! Speaking of bad Speaking of bad memories, where is your ball and chain? I thought both you and Leno were going to be fighter pilots together. Don't ask. Was it that bad? Ask me when I've had a few drinks. You don't drink. So don't ask me again, please. Sorry. Bad memories, Nat. I never thought befriending mutts could ruin my life in so many ways. Non-humans ruined your relationship? A mutt. Major Hackett? We were talking about a pet. A friend of mine had. It turned out to be a rabid dog. And then used the term dog. remember what I said if I heard you disparage your fellow servicemen again. I do, ma'am. Yeah, I was right. It is Rasuna, not Rizuna. Rasuna. And what was that? Immediate discharge, ma'am. That is correct. Major Pusil, you would do well to note Major Hackett's lesson. We are a team here on the Nimrods. We're Nimrods. Sorry, Nimrods. We work as a single unit. Oh, I can click. I will not tolerate those who cannot act as a team on my ship. Oh, I thought it was my ship. That is the one guiding principle that I must make clear. Yes, ma'am. My last experience with a SITO was not a pleasant one. I hope to not repeat it. I bite my lip. Great. She's one of those commanders who have had a bad experience with our organization in the past. Sure, some of us may be a little cutthroat and determined, but we get real results. The stories I've heard from my instructor were brutal. Selling out your command for success was common, not an exception. I don't believe in that mentality. There are limits to how far you can go before you become the monster you are fighting to destroy. Never will I sink that low. You have nothing to fear from me, Commander. Earn my trust, Major Pusil. I want to give it to you, but you need to prove yourself. I will. Dang it, I completely forgot to report in. Ma'am. Major Natalie Pusil reporting in. I'm the Special Investigations and Tactics Officer assigned to the KSS Nimros. Welcome to my ship, Major. She's one of the best tactical officers in the force, ma'am. I read the training report, top of your class, correct? Yes, ma'am. How many failed out in your class? Around 40%. And the average is 20? Why do you think that happened? Lack of dedication. They were not cut out for the service. And what did you do to help them pass? Everything you could, am I right? We fight and die as a team on the ship, Major. Earn my trust. Yes, Commander. At 10:05, we will be holding an all-call for the ship. You will brief our mission to the entire crew. Until that time, you are off duty. Major Hackett will be your guide. Thank you. You have our quarters decided, Major Hackett. Oh, I just realized! Hackett! Mass Effect! Ah, so slow. Guess I was going to put her in the empty room. I just kept thinking Hackett. Why does Hackett sound so freaking familiar? Mass Effect. Incorrect. She will be rooming with Captain Moonfollow. And what will we be doing with the empty room? Our ship doctor says he is tired of sleeping in the med ward and laid claim to it. That slimy... Yes, ma'am. That's all. Dismissed. Let's get out of here quickly before she thinks of something else. Wait, I have questions to ask. Alright. Certainly. What are you curious about? Oh, I don't know. I read up on the specs of the ship, but the profile suggested that this version might be different. I noticed that your ship's profile was different than a standard Harper-class command and control ship. You've got a very sharp eye. Yes, the ship was modified in depot. Really? But not for the better. Oh? That all depends. Our crew complements has been reduced due to the removal of the self-defense weapon. Wait, we have no defensive lasers or cannons? Correct. So we have no weapons officer or loader. Also, our impulse drive is a KDS E591 instead of the standard E598. As much as I want to bluff understanding that one, lying won't help me here. And what impact does that have on us, ma'am? A larger engineering bay and larger fuel consumption. So our med bay is also removed, but the doctor works out of the secondary research bay instead. Try not to get sick. He is an electrician demon who has no ethics or Hippacratic Oaths. He's a non-human, isn't he? An Afrit. But that doesn't make him any less of a vile monster. I'll keep that in mind. Please do. It's only a matter of time before I catch him and have him court-martialed. No defensive weapons to protect us from pirates. What about security when I'm at a ground site? We have Zuri. What is a Zuri? Is it some sort of defensive robot? How I really, really wish it was. I would be able to turn it off then. Lieutenant Zuri is our security officer and in charge of defensive systems on the ship, which means she doesn't have a lot to do and seems to find time in her day to just wander around and bother everyone. She wants to help out others. That doesn't sound like a bad thing, Soul. It wouldn't be if she had a better attitude. What's wrong? Is she grumpy? I thought someone like that would work well with you. Haha, no, she's perky. There have been some days where I just want to tear the happy right out of her soul. Have I ever said that you remind me of a really grumpy cat? Not in years. And you haven't changed a bit. Though she may be a bit over-enthusiastic at times, Lieutenant Zuri is competent at her job and will provide you with adequate security on away missions. Just don't expect her to shut up at all when she gets on her warrior rant. It'll be nice to have someone cheerful to hang out with now and then to compensate for Mr. Doom and Gloom. I'm just realistic, and don't lie and sugarcoat things for you. Is there anything else I should know about the ship before we set off? Besides the lack of defensive weaponry and substandard parts? While that may be true, most of the crew is relatively experienced in its operations. Despite their laziness and lack of morale, the commander is correct in stating that the crew is decent at their jobs. Don't expect too much, but I do ensure the basics are enforced. Even though he is rough and derogatory, Soul has never been one to shy away from acknowledging talent. I just wish he'd use it, no matter what the outside looks like. The weaponry shouldn't be an issue. I don't intend to send us into any combat zones. If pirates attack, fleeing in terror, while not heroic, is a perfectly logical course of action. Thanks for the briefing. The information will come in handy to maximize the Ross's utilization. I'm glad to hear it. I hate to cut the question and answer session short, but we should continue the tour. You don't want to start your first day tomorrow with no sleep, right? I can feel the first traces of exhaustion begin to set in. This is the first time I've had to do anything remotely like work in years. It feels wonderful, though tiring. Maybe having me mumble through the briefing tomorrow might make it a little more interesting. No doubt. By your leave, ma'am. Rest well, Major Crusoe. We expect more from you. Much from you. Dismissed. Let's go drop off your medical records with the perv and grab a bite to eat. That sounds delightful. I'm banished. If Kylie finished stocking everything, we might be able to make a decent meal from the synthesizer. No cook? No cook. We have some limited cooking facilities, but alas, no cook. I don't think I'd want to eat any more dog food anyway. Lupide food. Same thing. Trust me, Wolfie can't cook well. You can try eating it, but you'd rather have the synth stuff. Because she's a lupide or because she can't cook. Can it be both? I'm not saying all food mutants cook it to have, but lupide stuff is just bland and mushy. Try it if you want, you'll see. I can make a decent meal though. I'll make you something nice sometime. I'll have to compare them. Then we'll have to have a contest to prove it. Not tonight. You promise? I promise. Let's get going. I think them two should just get together. The clang of metal instead of the mush of dirt is welcoming. Never again will I have to check my air for spiders after a radar array check. Everything is so clean, so shiny. I did it. I really am back to the real Space Force again. I'm free to save the universe once more. Happy? Does it show? A little bit. I can't help it. I'm excited, Soul. My first real post. My first real mission. Finally off that mud ball. What is our first mission? I haven't checked. My orders were just to report here and then receive my follow-on order over the steered network. It sounds like they're trying to make it difficult for your first briefing. You're telling me. I have faith in you. Show them how you give a proper intelligence briefing. Thank you, Soul. I know I can't see the orders, but let me know if there's anything I can do to help. I'm glad he reminded me before I asked for his help. SITO orders are restricted to SITO eyes only. My first briefing can only be written by me. That is the unfortunate truth of my profession. No matter how much I wish I could depend on Soul, on my crew, I'm not part of it. I'm not a part of it. Wow, really? I'm just an attached member. The thought is sobering, bleeding the joy out of my mood. It's lonely at the top. Does my lab have a secure line? I'd rather not have to deal with couriers. Only the finest for you. It doesn't seem like this ship has a lot of finer things. It doesn't, but you learn to make do with the things you were given. I'm sure you'll find ways to adapt quickly. Of course. The ship is a stepping stone. I must keep telling myself that. We stop in front of a door in the aft section of the ship. Soul doesn't seem too pleased to be here, so I assume we have found the arse lab. Soul knocks against the door 3 times without a single response. Finally, he resorts to loud bangs before we get a response. Whoever it is, you know the hours. Doc is not in. The ship doctor is available at all hours of the day. Not according to your beloved regulations. Come back tomorrow, but make sure you book an appointment first. I'm sorry, Natalie, but I'm going to have to resort to some more desperate measures. Why are you apologizing? What are you planning? I wouldn't bother you, Cole. But our new SITO just arrived, and she really needs to turn in her medical records to you. She was very insistent to meet with you right now. She? Well, give me a moment. I may be able to break the regulations just this once. Just this once, my butt. From behind the sliding door, I can hear a mild commotion as whoever this colonel, I can't say that, prepares for our visit. You're pretty disrespectful to a superior officer. That thing is not my superior in any way. Oh my. The door slides open and a dashing Afrik with sharp eyes and dull purple hair that falls to his shoulders, steps out. He looks me over with a kind, warm smile, nothing like the predator I was expecting from Soul's description. He looks like a demon of yore, but his demeanor doesn't feel satanic. Still, there is something odd radiating from him. Power and confidence, yes, but something feels off. Deep in my gut, a small shiver of ice is forming. My, our humble ship has been blessed with a radiant beauty. My name is Stan Nelson, ship doctor. Natalie Pucelle, it is a pleasure to meet you. No, my dear, the pleasure is all mine. Okay. I was told that I would need to drop off my medical records because of some privacy act. That's correct. Smart and beautiful. We are truly blessed this day. Why don't you come in? I also double as the resident counselor and would love a chance to get to know you. I don't think so. If she needs to confide in someone, she has friends. An understanding perspective is often needed to truly cope. In the depths of space, my skills will guide any potential lost souls to salvation. Whew. Into your bed is more like it. My actions are bound by Hippacratic Oaths. What are yours? What do you mean? I'm a doctor and have an oath to never get involved with my patients. They can feel safe with me. Do you have any such restraint? Other than being a trusted friend who wants to protect her from a pervert. You malign me, Major. You both know I'm standing right here and understand this conversation, right? Natalie, I think I can handle myself. There's my medical record, Doctor. I look forward to working with you on the strictly professional basis you mentioned. Precisely, my lovely Major, precisely. If you ever need any help or someone to talk to without repercussions, I'm always here. Thank you. I'm very irritated. Natalie, wait! I'm not slowing down. I know Soul means well, but it isn't like I need some guardian angel protecting me from all the bad non-humans. That icy feeling in my gut is warning me to be careful around Stan, even though he is handsome and charming. I'm not a thing that they can use in their pursuit. I am the SITO in charge of this mission and everywhere, including Soul. We'll respect that. I'm sorry, my anger slowly fades out as I slow my pace. Even if I had some idea where I was going on the ship, I think Soul got the point. You what? You can take care of yourself, I know. I just don't want to risk losing another friend to a corrupted beast. Learning some of that teamwork stuff that the Vice Commander was talking about? Perhaps. Then trust me, it wasn't like I was going to go inside the room for a special examination in the nude. He made that offer to Zuri. And why is he not being brought up on charges for misconduct? because she is too dense to realize that his medical reasoning was flawed and perverse. But I know you're not. I'm sorry, I should have trusted you not fall for his traps. To make up for it, why don't I take you to dinner? You mean the synthetic stuff out of the machines? Once again, you proved that you can see through a ruse. Will that suffice for tonight? I promise a better meal down the space line. I'm going to hold you to that, soul. Oh. Okay, so this is where we're going to end this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe to see more, and have a wonderful day. Yay!